Hey guys, I'm back. I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist and I'm creating a video every day for a year. This is video 239. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I thought we'd start off with every day in every way I'm getting better and better, right? Every day in every way I'm getting better and better. Remember this mantra. Say this to yourself every single day because it's so true. Every day we're getting better. We're never taking 2 steps back, even though we might feel like it at times. We're always getting better because everything is teaching us something about ourselves. Every event that you go through, every feeling of loss that you go through, feeling of shock, anything, any of those feelings you feel, they're all teaching you something about you. And so just remember that every day in every way, you are getting better and better. So I looked this up because something just told me every day I kind of just get a thought and I'm like, oh, I'll do the video on this today. So every day in every way I'm getting better and better is actually a famous affirmation from French psychologist Emile Coué. I believe that's how you say his name. A technique called Couéism that uses autosuggestion to positively influence the subconscious mind for improved well-being, often repeated like a mantra to foster self-healing and personal growth through simple, consistent, positive thinking. So it was developed, this person lived from 1857 to 1926, so this is an old self-healing kind of a teaching. And basically the method was repetition of the phrase 20 times in the morning and 20 times at night to influence the subconscious. And it's a form of autosuggestion relying on the mind's power, i.e. the placebo effect and neuroplasticity to create positive changes. And the application was used for physical health, emotional well-being, and overall success. So it's kind of an all-encompassing affirmation that we can use every single day. And remember, you're affirming all day long without even realizing it. And so why not use our power for good and tell ourselves every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Now, saying it out loud is very important. Writing it down is also important. So I found this video earlier that I thought I'd share because I thought it was really cool. And I'm kind of like starting to want to go back to like the 90s or something. I don't know. I've thought about getting a flip phone. I don't know if that'll actually happen. But, you just start to like go back to let's start writing again. Let's start writing in cursive again, even if you know what cursive is. I'll mention that in here in a second. But it's just I feel like we need to go back to the old school type of stuff a little bit. And that's where my mind is going. I don't know about anybody else's, but comment below if you think we should go back to the 90s or the early 2000s or before then even, or the 80s even. I don't know. But I came across this video and they said writing things down is mystical and magical, but there's science behind it. Here's why. When you think a thought, it's in your field. Science knows this. It's there. Let's see. I'm sorry. When you think a thought, it's in your field. It's a wave of energy, basically. So then you see an electron. An electron is a wave, but when it's observed, it becomes a particle. So you think a thought, I want to make 100,000. I want to make 1 million a year. I want to make 5 million a year. I want to have 10 million in the bank. I want a Lamborghini. So you think a thought, and it's a wave of energy. And when you look at it and see a picture of it, it stops being a wave and becomes a particle because you've observed it. That's called the observer effect. So, and how you observe something changes it. So remember, if you look in the mirror, observe yourself how you want to see yourself, and you'll actually change. It's crazy. You just practice this over and over. And then when you write it down on a piece of paper, ideally white paper with a pen with blue ink, because there's energy in the color contrast to the brain, you transfer what's in the ether into the physical universe. Here's the analogy. If you look up in the sky and you see some clouds and you go, oh, it's an eagle, within a second, the eagle's gone because the clouds move. When you think a thought, oh, I want a Lamborghini, it's gone. Just like the cloud, unless you capture it and write it down on a piece of paper, you don't transfer what's in the ether into the physical universe. When you transfer it to the physical universe, it becomes now physical. It becomes real, writing it down. Why is writing it down on paper better than if you type it into your phone or electronic device? When you write and think of something that nobody does today, cursive writing, which is called I had to look this up, the Palmer method. And it relies on moving the proximal muscles of the arm rather than the hand to form letters and words. I had to look that up. When you write cursive, there are thousands of neurotransmitters firing off in your brain and thousands of neural pathways because of the movements of your hand. Therefore, when you write down what you want, the impression that it's making in your brain is in thousands of locations. When you type, there are less than 24 because there's only about 24 movements. And if you use your thumbs and do this, there's only 2. And they said it's even less than 2. So, and of course, writing left to right is bilateral stimulation. Left brain, right brain, left brain, right brain. And so writing, and I forgot about this, but you know how we tell clients to journal, maybe a therapist tell you to journal things. It's not only to kind of get it out of your head, but you're using both sides of your brain. You're writing and apparently using, I didn't realize this, but all of these neurotransmitters are firing off in your brain. But I would also think with this, it's like, it's a way to take something from thought and make it physical on a piece of paper. Even though it's not the actual item or thing or whatever, it's putting it out on the physical paper. And it's also helping you to use both sides of your brain and process emotion. So I do EMDR therapy with clients, and it's basically uses eye movements or tapping or anything that's bilateral stimulation, left, right, of the brain. It helps to desensitize trauma or things that bother someone, and helps to cure PTSD. So, and that's the clinical side, of course. I call it energy medicine, really. I think it just, of course, everything is a placebo. So whatever you believe works for you will work for you. There's some weird thing with our, moving our eyes around and the muscles and the nervous system, and it's all kind of attached together. So I think the science of this is kind of cool. I love writing. Cursive, I haven't written in cursive in a long time. So I'm thinking about doing some cursive again, just to get my brain firing again. So the point of all this kind of was to remind you that there's other ways to do things. I think we use our phones a little too much. So I thought, man, this is perfect. Like, let's talk about writing again and using our brains and our hands. And my hand actually starts to hurt after I've been writing for a while. So it is a little harder sometimes, but I'll get past it. And, but it's just like, I feel like we need to use our brains more, and that will help us use our imaginations more. And that's why I'm kind of incorporating a little bit of storytelling into my videos now. I'd really love to incorporate a story into every video, because I think we need to be using our imaginations way more than we use them. And that will train us to use our thoughts more productively, which will help us manifest things. So that's the whole point of all of this yet again. And it gives us a better quality of life. Remember, my channel is not about teaching how to just, get things. It's how to have a great quality of life and get things at the same time, and keep them and enjoy your life and enjoy yourself and enjoy the lessons that you're learning every day. And so remember that in every day and every way, you're getting better and better. And I did get a comment from an awesome subscriber, as always, that I wanted to bring up really quickly before I let you go. They said, I admit I fell down hard today and am ashamed. So just remember, we're going to have times when we, quote, fall, We're going to have times when we feel sad. We're going to have times when we're angry, when we feel like I said at the beginning of the video, where we feel like we've taken 2 steps back. It's never 2 steps back, ever. It just feels that way. It's an illusion. It's just like a practiced way of thinking that we've had for so long. And some of us get actually addicted to feeling ashamed. We get addicted to feeling bad about ourselves. And it's this subtle shift we've got to make. We've got to look in the mirror and be like, I'm done feeling this way. I'm just done. I'm done feeling sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, that whole thing. It's kind of like hitting rock bottom, whatever your rock bottom is. And for me, it's like, I don't want to feel bad about myself anymore. I don't want anybody to feel bad about themselves. But I don't want to hurt myself anymore with my own thoughts. So it's just a practice, because we are addicted. We are addicted to the chemicals in our brains and in our bodies. When we have a thought, it creates those chemicals. But the good news is that we create other chemicals when we consciously create different thoughts. So it's like, if we're in the old story, then it's going to show up in our emotions. And so we've got to remember, we can gently guide ourselves and direct ourselves to something else. And so This mantra is so great to use. Mantra, affirmation, whatever we want to call it. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Doesn't that feel so good to say that? Even if you're having a bad day, like, just tell yourself, like, I learned something today. Maybe I learned that I don't like feeling this way. Maybe that's something that you need to learn. Maybe that's it. Every day, golly, I had a crazy day today, and I was like I could feel my mood going down a little bit, and I was like, oh, there it goes. Hey, come back up, and you just catch yourself. You're like, where did that come from? And sometimes it's just so practice that if something happens that is like something else that happened a year ago and it feels like this, and it's just all attached in these neural networks in our brains, and we're just so used to thinking those ways that it just kind of becomes habit. So I am right there with you. I have feelings of I have every feeling just like you do. It's like they come up, and I just say every day and every way I'm getting better and better because I'm learning. And so you're just learning. It's like Esther Hicks would say, like, you don't tell a toddler, like, when they're learning to walk, or a baby when they're learning to walk, however old, 18 months, 8-month-old baby, I think is what she said. You don't tell a little baby to, like, get up, you little dummy, when they fall, when they're trying to walk, And I feel like we are just toddlers in adult bodies, and we're still learning, and I don't think we ever stop learning. So you're always going to learn more about you. And if you just adopt this affirmation every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. My life is getting better and better every day. Everything is getting better. Everything's always getting better, even if it's 1%, even if it's 0.5%, even if you just got up out of your bed today and showered. You did great today. Good job. Pat yourself on the back. You got up. You lived. You ate something today. Good for you. You're taking care of your body. Like, it sometimes needs to be the littlest things. Sometimes you might need to, here's another assignment for you, like, write down the things that you accomplished that day and say, man, I did a great job. Like, maybe even go get some like gold star stickers and give yourself a star every day. Literally, I'm not kidding. We're just toddlers that need validation and acceptance and love and need to be seen and heard. Sometimes you have to give it to yourself. You just got to do it. Like, you just got to do something unconventional, because the conventional isn't working so well, as we've noticed around the world. It's just not working so well. So we've got to do things intentionally to create these mental states. We've got to occupy these states. As Neville says, we got to occupy the state, which means we got to live there, and then things will change. So it's crazy. I could go on and on about this stuff, but that's a lot in one video, I know. But just remember, every day in every way, you are getting better and better. Write that down. Say that 20 times in the morning, 20 times at night, whatever. Write it down 20 times. Practice your cursive if you know how to write cursive. If you don't know how to write in cursive, maybe it's time to learn. That'll get your brain really going. I would highly recommend it. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are doing amazing today. If this helped you in any way, please share it with somebody else who might benefit from the information, and just have fun with this. Have fun with your life. You're doing awesome no matter what you think is going on. It's just say, hey, this is just my movie. I'm the star of the show. I can do and be and have anything I want. And all I have to do is just believe that I can and not contradict that belief. That's the secret right there. So remember, you are so loved, and pass that on to anybody who you feel might need to hear that today. And remember to appreciate yourself, because what you appreciate appreciates, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.